Hi, welcome, welcome, and yay for you to embark on this exploration that it is an alternative way of seeing things. And thank you for your openness to perhaps see parts of yourself and your own journey that you may have neglected or thought that you were done with. So thank you for an open mind, an open heart, and for being here. The first piece that I want to share is really the foundation and the pre-work that I have been doing for years, and you are probably on this path too, and you may have mastered this, but if you haven't, and for those of you that haven't, I want to just point out the significance and that this is the most important thing to focus on really in our self-healing journey, on the path to self-realization, awakening, ascension, all of it. So what is it? It's the attachment to suffering. It's the victimhood. It's the inner critic, inner self that wants to be in pain, who thrives to be in pain, who thinks that if I'm not in pain, I don't exist completely. So to release addiction to suffering, attachment to suffering, and to release the victim, to love the victim completely, is really the most important, the most foundational work that we can be doing. Because one who suffers, and to find at least suffering to some extent a little bit enjoyable at times, or to choose to go into that, to go into I just want to be in this space. One who wants to suffer doesn't want to change the reality into something mega fantastic. Okay, so if we're addicted to suffering, which we are as humans at first, as long as we are addicted to suffering and return to that at times, perhaps more seldom, more time in the high vibe, happy space in between, seeing with conscious awareness when we fall back. There's perhaps outer circumstances that change or invite us to move into the suffering state again. And sometimes we choose to. Perhaps we're sick and choose to go into that illness a little bit deeper than necessary because it's an opportunity to suffer. And at that time, we know that we still hold some addiction, some clinging, attaching to suffering. So to really be able to release this part, to see the addiction for what it is, it's an addiction. Most of the time, it's an addiction that a part of you wants to nourish, wants to hold on to, and to keep feeding with moments of despair and sadness, and choosing foods that are not nourishing, choosing to Netflix for hours even though you know afterwards your head is a mess and you feel really low. Making those choices even though you know here that another choice is available, when another choice is available, and you know that you would feel a lot better in this space, choosing this, or this food or environment or action, perhaps do something, sit in silence or put on music instead of watching TV, or go outside, or, you know, when that moment arises and you know that I have this option that will make me feel good, and I have this option that I'd rather take, when I can move into a space of, just slight pain, be able to hold yourself in a bit of misery, then you know that you do have a choice in between these states to become even more aware of that. If you're in those moments, are able to choose the better version, the higher vibrational option. And I don't want to say better because it's all serving a purpose, right? But if you're in this place when you started to notice your options and notice when you choose the pain, and you can begin to choose the love, the expansiveness instead. And that goes for relationships too. Relationships are the best to point out the choices, and how we blame in relationships, how we blame someone else for our mood or for our reaction. But to be able to master, to stay in the choice of being happy, then you're not addicted to the suffering anymore. And in those moments when you are not able to choose the higher version of you, that option that makes you feel better, then you know that this is a trigger, this is something that shows you where to heal, where to look at. Why are you feeling like the victim in this moment? Why are you feeling sad in this moment? Why are you feeling like someone else is doing something to you, or thinking something about you, or judging you? Can you turn that around? So I know I won't go into the self-healing aspect. I think you know that already, but using the triggers and the victim and the moments where you choose pain, to use those as markers, guides, to show you where you still need to heal, and do that healing with the commitment that you have, the inner resolve to actually, okay, I'm going to look at this and I'm going to heal it now. And honestly, this doesn't need to be a long journey. This needs that inner resolve, the determination to actually take some time. It could be in a half hour and it's gone. It could be an hour, it could be 2 hours, it can be weeks. If you want to drag it out, you can. But if you look at it completely and feel the emotions completely, and use the techniques that you know and the techniques that are available all around for healing, different ways, different modalities, it can be quick. But to keep returning to the painful option again and again, and to nurture that, and you're stuck in it. But I'm sure you're aware of this. So releasing attachment to suffering, and to choose in those moments when you still are nudging on that, to choose the better option, the higher option. Okay, what can I say? to choose the option that will bring you closer to self-awareness and self-mastery. Okay, to choose that option. Yeah, I think that's enough for now. It's a big one. But it's the most foundational thing that you can do to move into your own soul power, to choose in those moments, everyday moments, to make the choice that your soul is asking for, that your heart is asking for, that you are longing for. Thank you. In the next video, I will share more in depth on a certain aspect of choosing joy. Okay, see ya.